Hey, what's up, guys? I am starting my Wednesday chat. I'm going to wait a little bit to see who all joins, but today is going to be, excuse me, today is going to be a theme chat about Curse of the Shadow King, my dark fantasy Arthurian novel, and I'm going to hopefully get in a Q&A session, talk about the book, a little bit about the plot, no spoilers, and just stuff that is around Curse of the Shadow King, and I am going to have a giveaway, an ebook. So hopefully people will enjoy that. Alrighty, so it has been just a little under a minute. I'm probably gonna wait maybe about 2 minutes before I kind of start. I apologize for the webcam. I went to Best Buy to get one, and apparently they were all sold out because of school starting back up, which is understandable, but kind of a pain because this thing sucks. But I'll order something offline tonight, so I'll have it for next week. So if you can deal with my shitty webcam, thank you so much. And I'm hoping that this chat can work out into something fun because I want to share uh, my book. I want to talk about Knights of Avalon, and I want to give away a free copy of Curse of the Shadow King. So if you are in the chat, say hello. Hello, Jackson. Hello, welcome to the chat. Today is going to be a Q&A for Curse of the Shadow King and a ebook giveaway. I'm thinking that if I can get enough people in the chat tonight, I'm going to plan another giveaway for a print edition of the book. And then ultimately, I would love to do a hardcover giveaway too. So here is one of the sorry, incapable. Here's one of like the original print editions that I had made with the anime art, and I am going to give one of these away soon. And then if I can get enough people into doing these Q&As and these chats, I'm going to give away one of these babies. So hoping for the best tonight. So if you've come to participate, you are welcome to chat and ask questions. If you're curious about what I'm doing, I am a fantasy author. Excuse me. Curse of the Shadow King is a dark fantasy Arthurian themed books, which means King Arthur, Merlin, etc. You can find information on my website, author Joseph Harkreader, HARKREADR.com. I have character art, character biographies. I have a sample of the book and even a book trailer. I put it in the description of this video here. Hold on, let me share it again. But if you guys are curious about the trailer, or if you guys want to check things out, so maybe you know what to ask or something may kind of spark your interest, I will provide links. Yeah, just give me a sec. I should have like had this prepared, but I posted it in the chat. But when you go live, it kind of changes like the way the video looks. So I'm gonna share this link, and if you guys want to check out the trailer, do so please. It has like kind of like it has the blurb in it, and it's pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think of the trailer. If you have any questions, that would definitely help the process of this chat since it's a Q&A. And then I'm gonna like link my website so you guys can like check that out. And I have a section that has the character biographies and character art. So if you guys have any questions, again, dark fantasy, Arthurian themed book. The title of the series is Knights of Avalon, and book one is Curse of the Shadow King. I'm currently working on the sequel. I have it about finished up like the first draft, and I'm also working on a prequel novella which actually follows the title character of this book, because Curse of the Shadow King, he was cursed by the Shadow King. So this is Jasper Kane. I will get a little bit more into his story when the chat starts. But I'm excited. I hope you guys check out the trailer and check out my website. And if you have any questions or about the book or any characters or just kind of my journey writing the book, I welcome those. Hello, welcome. Hey, Megan. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm always like super nervous before I jump into chats, just because I have anxiety and I always get super nervous. But usually once I kind of get in here and I start talking and people interact, it makes me feel a little bit more at ease. So tonight my goal, and I know I've been saying this for like the last 2 weeks, is tonight my goal is to actually order a webcam. I went to Best Buy, but they were all sold out. So I am still stuck with this like crappy um, laptop cam. And I'm surprised it's so terrible, honestly. It's like so light, like the lighting is so bad, and like so I'm sorry for that. I'm probably just gonna order something online tonight. So when I do a live stream next week, it'll be better. But yeah, I need to stop saying when I do it and just kind of do it. So alrighty, well, it's been about 6 minutes, but I've got sort of like been fluctuating between 2 and 3 viewers. Um, and I'm gonna give this a little bit more of a chance for people to jump on. I did drop the link in a writing room in, and hopefully people will decide to be supportive, and or more people will decide to be supportive, and hey, check out a fellow writer's book, and um, that would be amazing. So Megan is from Cyber Sensor, and so is Jackson. Thank you both. So it's definitely been an interesting journey as far as just like uh, going from from writing fan fictions and from like role playing groups to attempting to write a full length novel. I mean, it's been one hell of a ride and learning experience. It's kind of funny thinking back to sort of like the beginning where when I first completed a book, it was called Cursed Blood. And this is it. It's kind of a bit of a rough copy. And this is like, I guess this is kind of the blueprint of what Knights of Avalon and Curse of the Shadow Kings kind of started from or whatever. But the series name was The Chosen Warriors of Avalon, and it was called Cursed Blood. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you for attending. It means a lot to me. And Megan, thank you so much. So yeah, this is like I said, this is where it started, and I have a video here on YouTube that kind of talks about that misadventure. I ended up falling into a vanity press when I didn't know what a vanity press was, and this is sort of what I ended up with. Like, it's like, as proud as I am to like have this book, and there are good memories of reading it to my mom before she passed away, because I really wanted this accomplishment before she was gone. Like, that's awesome. But kind of looking at this and like what it became as far as just the quality of the formatting and the book cover and all that stuff, like it's definitely been, like I said, it's been a wild ride, and it's really evolved into something that I'm proud of as I've grown as like a writer. And then when I did have the chance and a little bit more know-how, I renamed the series because I figured Knights of Avalon is better than The Chosen Warriors of Avalon. So this was my second cover. Sorry, the camera's bad. But I commissioned these anime characters, and with my boyfriend, we created a nice logo. So Knights of Avalon, and I decided that since there were like a handful of people that kept thinking that Cursed Blood meant it was a vampire book, that Curse of the Shadow King was probably a better fitting title anyway. And not to mention, it's just now I can say, hey, this is Jasper, and he is the title character. This is Curse of the Shadow King, and he is cursed by the Shadow King. So it made a little bit more sense. But yeah, so tonight is going to be an ebook giveaway, and then if I can get some people on, I am going to do a paperback giveaway soon. That would be fun. And then my latest adventure is the hardback, which is just incredibly beautiful. I'm sorry that my camera is so terrible, but I love this art. It was done by Odette A Botch or Bach. I'm sorry if I'm like messing up your last name, but she is on Instagram, and she is an incredibly talented artist. I originally found her art in a writing group of men called Cyber Central when a an author that I know who writes the Savior series, Jenna Moresi, used her for character art, and I saw those portraits, and I just had to have had to have those commissioned for mine. I have two other characters commissioned this way, but I didn't use or I didn't pay for the commercial use for them. I've only paid for the commercial use for this one, but if you want, you can go on my website and you can check out those portraits. And like I said, on my website, I have character biographies. I talk a little bit about each character, whether they're good or whether they're evil. I have a press kit which has the trailer. I have I think it's like a 3-chapter sample of the book. Hello, welcome. So I am definitely excited to talk a little bit more about the book. If you guys want, check out those links. Like I said, there's character biographies, there's a trailer. If you love dark fantasy, action, adventure, romance books, Knights of Avalon, The Curse of the Shadow King is perfect for you. Within the series, I have LGBTQ representation. Jasper Kane is the title character, and he is a gay man, and he has a love interest in the book. So I thought that was kind of cool to put that representation in the book, especially growing up. I didn't have a whole lot of that on TV or as like as inspiration. So as I got older, I started seeing more characters that were beloved and within the spectrum of the LGBTQ rainbow representation, and it made me a little bit more emboldened and brave to write my own character. So these aren't like these aren't the updated portraits, but the other two Knights of Avalon. This is Hanako Shimizu, and this is her brother Tenchi Shimizu. So like I still really love like these portraits. I just wanted to try and experiment as far as like from a marketing standpoint, maybe going with an art style that was a little bit more realistic. Which cover do you guys like more? Do you guys like the anime one? Or do you guys like kind of the more realistic portrait art? I love them both, but I have to say I really love this picture of Jasper. It's so beautiful. If you guys want to see a non-blurry version of it, check out my website. I posted it in the comments. Each time I just sort of had a cover in mind because initially when well, I don't know if I'm gonna post this later for like just a YouTube video. So Megan asked, "Did you have a cover in mind, or did you give the artist some freedom?" As far as like the anime art goes, I design these characters. I can share kind of like my process, but I designed them, and then I decided to use them on the cover, and then I designed this cover with Photoshop and like kind of the back and stuff. And then the new cover, I went through Odette with notes on like kind of what the character is supposed to look like, and then I designed that cover too. But yeah, usually when it comes to like designing characters, I have a passion for it. I love it. So I tend to sort of like pick out like, what their face looks like, their hairstyle, their clothes, and I usually have a lot of fun doing that because there are some characters where I'll go on Google and I'll look at three shirts and then I'll take aspects of like three outfits and I'll put them together into like one shirt and just kind of like design like my own unique thing. I mean, I'm no design expert, but for some reason I just have fun like creating and designing characters. I think it's fun. Yeah, I mean, it can be tough to like sort of decide on like what you want your book cover to look like. I think that for me, and I've seen some other authors who want to design their own cover, and I think one thing that I initially kind of fell into was trying to like put too much into the cover, where we spend so much time with our work, and we're like, yeah, like this symbolizes that, and this symbolizes this, and we just kind of want like tons of things for like the book cover, to whereas like just I think sometimes like less is more, and I think sometimes it's easy to get carried to get carried away and to want like like five things of symbolism, and it's like no no no, just keep it simple, but let it be eye catching. And but yeah, but if you feel like you can translate your vision into notes and stuff and let an artist go wild with it, that's cool too. I think I just and a lot of people I think when you're writing the book, sometimes people just use kind of a vision or their imagination of what their cover is going to look like to kind of like to get them through the process of like the hard process sometimes of writing the book. But yeah, I had fun designing my book covers. I love using Photoshop. I still need a lot of practice. I have a website where I offer cover design and formatting. Um, I don't think I'm bad. I think I still I think I still need to like kind of practice and get the hang of different tools in Photoshop so I can make things maybe a little bit more complex. Um, but I have fun with it, and I try and keep up with it. I just have a lot going on as far as like trying to publish two books and trying to juggle different aspects of social media. So sometimes it's a little tough trying to juggle too much. But cover design and whatnot was really fun. I just like shared my my Facebook page where I offer services and at a pretty like discount rate too. I mean, I offer um, the book cover services. I'll make like an ebook cover, a paperback edition, and a hardback edition for like $150 for all three. That's not too bad. And then like I think like formatting, I do that for like $75. So essentially it's just like $25 like each version to like format. Hello, third person. There's like I keep kind of toggling between two and three people, and I'm not sure who the third person is that keeps coming in, but they never say hi or they never say. But anyway, so welcome to the chat. Tonight is a Q&A of Curse of the Shadow King, or at least an attempted Q&A of Curse of the Shadow King. Thank you, Megan, for your questions. Uh, if you are interested, check out the chat. I have my book trailer and I have my website. And on my website, you can find character biographies. No worries, I understand. I just appreciate you showing up and being supportive because you've done that on more than one occasion and it means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Like, this is a tough thing. I mean, like, there's a lot to juggle and it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, I don't know what it is it is that I'm doing wrong or I'm doing right. The only thing I know is that giving up isn't going to help, and showing up is my best chance. So just kind of, I'm going to keep scheduling these chats and trying to share them with people and just have a good time with it. Oh, I sounded really Minnesotan there. You know. Yeah, it's tough, but I try and keep a good attitude and like good energy and Oh yeah. So I am going to share some of my character biographies because this is a live chat, but I also enjoy just kind of putting them up as videos, even though I need to improve my webcam because it's not the best, but it's material for YouTube. Ultimately, I kind of need to get back. The live chats have been easier to manage at this point, but I'll probably get back into recording videos, kind of edited material as far as like maybe doing some book reviews and just talking about different aspects of the industry, whether it's what it takes for me to write a book or advice or different things. I'm definitely open to requests and things like that. I also really want to get into like just like um, inviting other writers slash authors on to talk about different things too. That would be cool. If someone has a book out, I would love to read it and interview them. That would be fun. I believe like one of the most important parts of our community is supporting each other. And as much as I realize that for any platform, including my own, to really take off and need support, I really genuinely want to support other people as well because that's what it takes for us all to succeed is to lift each other up. So that's why maybe it's corny, but that's why I would say, when people show up and they talk and ask questions and stuff like that, why I say it means so much to me because um, it's important. It's really important. So on my website, there's a tab called Knights of Avalon, and I have three characters in that so far. I will read these profiles. So Jasper Kane, he he's definitely one of my favorite characters. I mean, it's hard for me to say like just one character is my favorite, but I guess there are just different aspects of each of these heroes that sort of resonates with me that I love so much. So Jasper Kane's life was forever changed when the Black Death struck London, England in 1348. So Jasper is over 600 years old. The night he transformed into an immortal warrior remains a mystery, except for one name he cannot forget, the Shadow King. And that's why he is the title character for Curse of the Shadow King. So I hope that people will enjoy his character. I try to write him um, as a bit of a protected and defensive character because he's lived for so long and he's lost a lot. And there's part of him that has become jaded and a little detached. So Jackson says, "Yeah, the support of the writing community is really disappointing. To be honest, they want to throw out writer lists and act like they're doing their part when they're actually doing the least possible." Like I definitely agree. There are a lot of people that I've run into, and I'm not trying to like be negative or whatever. Um, but within some of the communities I'm in, I can honestly say I've done like my best to try and support people. I've subscribed to YouTube channels. I've attended live chats. I've bought people's books. I've reviewed people's books. Um, hey Jason, and it's not like I feel like I'm owed anything because obviously I'm not. Obviously I'm not. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes within this community there are people who feel they're owed something and they just sort of take and they don't know how to support each other. So when people do support me, I really do appreciate it because I really do genuinely try and support other people. So thank you, Jackson. I love Jasper. Jasper is a fun character to write. Like I said, when I first started writing the book, I was nervous about writing gay characters, but the more I kind of got into other books like Percy Jackson and like Cassandra Clare, and I saw characters like Jack Harkness from like Doctor Who and Torchwood, it made me more comfortable writing gay characters. So Jasper is, like I said, he's a bit of a guarded character. He is an immortal. He's over 600 years old. He's been through a lot. He's seen a lot. He's lost a lot. And he's the title character for Curse of the Shadow King. Um, I tried to mold him into a three-dimensional being with agency and uh, with dimension, with fears and with desires, and I hope that that will translate through the pages. So far, like the feedback I've gotten generally tends to be pretty positive about how the characters are developed. Let's see here. Next to him on here, I have Hanako Shimizu, and that is this chick. And she is really fun to write just because, you know, I'm not going to say like any character is particularly me, but there are definitely characters that, like when you're a writer, there's certain characters that you put little elements of yourself into. And thank you, Jason. And she is sort of like my geeky side, like where within the book she loves anime and comics and superheroes, and she is sort of like into making pop culture references, which, which in my opinion, are some of the more like funny moments in the book. But she's also a character with layers and a bit of dimension as far as like on the surface, she is this kind of happy-go-lucky, geeky otaku character, but the more you get into her story, you realize that she does have like issues with her family and just kind of her destiny, and that was very cool to write. I like her a lot. So here I'm gonna read you guys her biography. So the young Shimizu Hanako is a bit of a geek with a sharp wit. She's strong-willed and close with her brother Tenchi, but clashes with her older brother and grandmother about the responsibility of their destiny. Hanako is a humorous young woman with a taste for adventure. She's always longed for more than the mundane, until the day she was bestowed the sacred bow of Artemis and her destiny began to unfold. So, in theory, she always loved all of these fictional things until they became real. And then she didn't like so much almost being killed. So, so yeah, like again, she has this sharp wit and a sense of humor to her, and she's a fun character to write. But at the same time, there's also sort of the sense of like sadness of the character and kind of a journey or a path towards forgiveness that she has to sort of has to walk. And there is a character that is her love interest in the book, and I loved writing him too. Um, Without giving any spoilers, there's this chapter that I love, and I know it's probably super geeky to say, but it's called The Prince and the Pegasus, and I love his character. He is just so cute, and he's fun to write, and their chemistry was really fun to write. So, next to her on the cover, the other Knight of Avalon is Tenchi Shimizu. And he was a fun to write because I wanted to give him a bit of a contrast to Jasper, where they're both coming from these places of trauma and loss, but how they handle it is completely different, and how their outlook affects like their arcs, and how their chemistry is as like comrades when they come together is isn't quite the same, but it affects each other. So that was kind of interesting to write as far as like one character who'd experienced loss but was kind of jaded and lost. Well, he was lost himself, and he meets this guy who has lost things, and he's afraid because this magical destiny that has been kind of bestowed upon him, has essentially left him without parents. Like, and I know that's like this like kind of trope within fantasy where people don't have parents, but hey, some tropes work if you use them right. Anyways, so so his mom is dead, so he resents that destiny because she was killed essentially by magic, and their father left them, and so he runs away. Like as soon as he turns 18, he goes off into the world, and he kind of tries to find himself. And part of that is dealing with not only magic, but his sexual identity. And part of his arc, not to give any spoilers, is just sort of learning to accept that destiny is like what you make of it. And so that was an interesting contrast of someone who was hopeful and like kind of reaching for something versus somebody who is kind of lost and has to find their way a little bit more. Let's see here. So Tenchi, who is adorable. So Tenchi tried to resist magic. Oh, sorry. A bit of a shy loner, Tenchi wields a sacred bow staff of courage and possesses the ability to transform into a falcon. So yes, he is a shapeshifter, and I had a lot of fun with that. Initially, he has one form, which is a falcon that he could transform into, and when he meets one of the holy mages in the book, that power expands, which was really cool because there are a couple of forms within the book that it was a challenge to describe these transformations, but ultimately once they were done, I'm really proud of them and I think they're great. Let's see here. He ran away from Japan and his responsibilities, only to experience grave misfortune before returning home. Tenchi is close to and protective of his sister Hanako. He cares for his older brother Aito, but resists the pressure of his corporate lifestyle. So those are the Knights of Avalon. Like I said, on my website, josephhartcreator.com, you can check out um, pretty much all my characters, like good and evil. They have little teasers next to like their portraits. So if you guys have any questions, again, this is a dark fantasy, Arthurian themed book, which means that it follows it's inspired loosely by like King Arthur and Merlin. Um, there are I guess there's like trigger warnings, or I should say like graphic violence. There's some swearing in the book, so it's definitely an adult novel. I wouldn't classify it as YA. Not that there's anything wrong with YA, but it's definitely not a coming of age story, so it's not YA. Um, let's see here. So, part of the plot is they have to awaken the holy mages. So ultimately, this is kind of a King Arthur type-esque story. So there is going to be mentions of the mythology of Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table. So ultimately, within the series, there are going to be the Knights of the Round Table, but I gave them guardian mages, which are called the Holy Mages, and one of them is named Tora. Tora is a freaking blast, right? He's super funny. Tora is the son of the forest god Izanagi. He is the guardian of the wild and one of the chosen seven mages chosen by Merlin. He possesses the ability to transform into any animal or mythological beast. His magic also enhances the transformation ability of his chosen knight, Tenchi. Tora has a sarcastic sense of humor and tends to lack a social filter. He can be blunt at times, but always comes through for the people he cares about when it counts. So yeah, he was one of my favorite characters, right? And within the second book, he has a lot of really funny moments. So that's Tenchi's guardian, and then Hanako has one, and her name is Sayuri. Sayuri is the daughter of the sea god Watsuyumi. She's the guardian of the summer rain and one of the chosen seven holy mages. She possesses control over the element of water and is able to enhance the abilities of her chosen knight, Hanako Shimizu. Sayuri is intelligent and well versed in magical arts, making her more than capable in battle. She's loyal, soft spoken, and a little shy. Like I wish that I could like just show like these portraits on the screen right now because they're so cool. but uh, but it's kind of cool because like when I initially made this, I mean, I tried to research things within like the publishing industry, and I kind of only knew so much, and especially I was still growing as a writer. But when I was able to find somebody to bring my vision to life in the form of like character portraits, it was just it was really cool. It like it just like really motivated me to work harder, and it just I don't know, it really gave me hope because this is a tough industry. It's so competitive, and there are moments where it's just easy to feel like you're lost in this sort of like massive sea of like just voices because there's so many people that are doing this, and marketing is so crucial, and just finding ways to market yourself as an author and to share what you love is incredibly difficult, um but it's worth it. It's so worth it. Especially like tonight I look at the chat and there's like three people, and whatever, it's cool. I mean, it's not like I think I'm some sort of internet celebrity, but hey, three people, thank you so much for showing up and for supporting my dream, because to me this is more than just a book. It's something that I've poured my heart and my soul into, and it's so meaningful to me. Um, you know, it would be great to become a best-selling author and to make a great living from being an author, but I just want to share my work, and I want to share my stories and my passion, Um, and I've gotten some reviews and feedback that are super positive. Right now, I'm waiting on a book blog to someone who runs a book blog to like read my book, and she's going to review it, and then she's going to interview me and hopefully do a giveaway. That would be really sweet. Let's see here. So those are the three main knights, and they're holy angels. So, some other characters that I have in the book, because this is like a mix of high fantasy with like urban moments, I guess. I mean, because the story starts out in like, I guess like modern day Earth in the city of Tokyo. So in that sense, like it starts out as sort of like a story with urban fantasy elements, but then it moves into this mystical land of Avalon. So there are also high fantasy elements as well. And I have a fairy kingdom called Incendium, and that is ruled by Queen Celia. Queen Celia, the Queen of Incendium, is a fierce ruler with many secrets. Her husband, the late King Vulcan, fought alongside Merlin as a knight of Avalon with his holy mage guardian, Pyrrhus. Upon the king's death, Pyrrhus fell into a mystical slumber to await the new Phoenix King. However, he and Vulcan created a powerful relic, a mystical gemstone known as the Phoenix Tear, for Celia to use in the protection of the kingdom. Thank you. Sometimes you just have to smile even when you feel terrible, and you just have to keep moving, because staying in the same spot feeling bad doesn't get you anywhere. So there are moments when my anxiety is just skyrockets and I feel terrible, but at the same time I am also more than aware of the fact that I'm lucky to be able to do something that I love and that I'm passionate about, and that in itself is a privilege and a gift. So as much as there's moments when things feel terrible, at the same time, just I try to remember that the act of like just enjoying my craft and writing and creating and pouring my heart onto these pages and whatever. I mean, I guess that's just the most important part. And hopefully, through hard work and persistence, other people will enjoy it too. So the prince, Aigo Katal, he has a preference. He likes to be called Aigo. Aigo Katal means Phoenix Prince. So Aigo Katal is the Prince of Incendium and possible successor to the mantle of the Phoenix King. He is confident, brave, and humorous with an adventurous spirit. He is trained from a young age in hand-to-hand combat to prepare for the possibility of taking his father's place as the Phoenix, or the King of Incendium, and the title of the Phoenix King. Igo remembers little about his father, but has grown close to his mother and considers his sister and Pegasus to be his best friends. He yearns to explore other realms, but has never been allowed to leave or venture outside of Avalon. And that is one of the love interests in the book for one of my knights. He's a really cool character to write. I love him. He's tough, um, but he's also very insightful. He's a very insightful character. So his sister is named Vivian. Vivian is the princess of Incendium and possible to successor to the mantle of the Phoenix King. So it could be either of them. And that is definitely fun. That was like a fun angle to write. Let's see here. She is bubbly and kind-hearted with a playful sense of humor, but takes her magical training seriously to honor the memory of her father Vulcan. Vivian often feels overshadowed by her brother Aigu Katal, however, she considers him to be her closest friend since they were very young. Alrighty, let's see here. Some other characters I have, and those aren't the only characters, like main characters in the Fairy Kingdom. I have like other characters. I just don't have biographies on them. Um, let's see here. For the side, I also have the Elven Kingdom, which is called Freyberg. And let's see here. So the king is Elric. Elric is the king of the Elven nation Freyberg. After the Great War, which shook Avalon to its core, the proud king accomplished the once impossible. He united the Elven nations of Avalon under his banner. Elric is a strong leader and a proud king. He is a loving husband and father who only wishes to protect his family and people from outside threats and fairies. Olivia is the queen of the Elven nation Freyberg. She possesses nature magic and fought alongside her husband during the Great War of Avalon. After the fighting stopped, she was instrumental in forging a truce amongst the species of Avalon and uniting the Elven nations. Olivia is well versed in combat and the laws of other nations and has a strong diplomatic mindset. She's thoughtful, empathetic, and kind. She's a strong queen and loving mother in life. Abella is the princess and oracle of the Elven nation Freyberg. She hasn't completely mastered her powers of sight, but has experienced visions of the past and future alike. She was born after the Great War and has only known between uh, and has only known peace in Avalon and the unity of the Elven nation. Abella is brave and willing to take a stand when she witnesses an injustice, even when it means speaking out against her father, the king. She's hopeful for the future of Avalon, yet fears what visions her gift may bring. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. As I kind of explore these characters with you and tell you about them. So I have been live about 41 minutes. I'm going to stand just a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to do a little edit on my page because it's only when you go to share something publicly that you find something wrong with it. So she's only known peace in Avalon, the unity of the Elven nation. So cool. Sometimes it's so easy to miss typos, which is kind of a pain, but it's all good. So I think I'm going to share just a little bit more, and then I'm going to get going since I guess it's been over like 40 minutes. And I appreciate the people who showed it and who have talked and stuff. I guess maybe I need to improve my webcam and find ways to sort of get people into chat. It's tough though. Okay, so the Shadowroot. So here are the baddies. List some of them, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm gonna read all of these, but the main bad guy is Chaos. Chaos is a primordial god and self-proclaimed first king of the cosmos. Chaos has set his sights on a pair of chosen blood knights and the prophecy of the Phoenix King. He has positioned his players on the board in a merciless game with his sights set on the destruction of Avalon. And then a character that I won't give you any spoilers, but Aito Shimizu is in the bad guy section, and that is Hanako and Tenchi's brother. I wonder why. You will have to read to find out. Vincent Angelo, who is mentioned in the blurb, Vincent Angelo is a mysterious and wicked man who enters Jasper King's life to recruit him as a chosen blood knight for the god Chaos. He bears the same cursed ink as Jasper and possible answers to his muddled past. Vincent is powerful and skilled with his crimson claws. He can be sadistic and ruthless to his enemies. He views humans as weak and flawed. He is determined to resurrect the gods Yami in order to reshape the world for his beloved sister Lilith. And then I have a profile for the Dark Elf King and Lilith Angelo, who died a long time ago when a boat she was on was a passenger upon sank. She was only 14 years old when her life tragically ended. In life, Lilith endured a lot of tragedy, but despite the loss of people she loved the most, she was a cheerful and hopeful young girl. Lilith is pulled from another world of light and peace by her brother Vincent, believing her resurrection is a gift from the goddess Yami, chosen to act as a vessel until they're able to enter paradise. So thank you again to the people who showed and said hi and asked questions. Probably not going to do the giveaway just because I didn't get really a whole lot of people in here to kind of choose from and to sort of play off. Even though I'm grateful for the people who did show. Um, I guess I just need to again. Maybe my webcam isn't good enough, or I don't know. Maybe I just need to find other places to sort of share what I'm doing where people are a little more supportive. Um, but I do appreciate people who are supportive, so I don't want to stay in a mindset of what I don't have versus who is here and who makes me feel validated and good about what I'm doing. I guess I don't know, um, but it is 46 minutes in. I don't want to make this incredibly too long because I at least want to try and create material that hopefully people will watch later on YouTube. I tried my best to sort of articulate things about the characters and the plot and the genre. If you have made it this far into the video and you're watching later, thank you so much. If you have questions, definitely hit me up in the comments below. Right now, I am posting or hosting lives every Wednesday at 3 o'clock PDT, well, California time. I'm probably gonna try it maybe like one more week just to kind of see if I can get anyone else involved. If not, I may try another time. Um, but again, thank you to the people who showed, and I heart you. You're awesome. I will be back again next week. Again, I'm gonna try this time slot at least one more time. I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna do another Q&A, and I'm gonna do like maybe I'm gonna try like maybe a paperback giveaway. But in the meantime, I need to look at some of my scripts and just start recording YouTube videos again. Right now, around kind of managing my social media, I'm trying to get a novella that takes place within the United States of Avalon universe ready for a professional edit and then to be published as a KDP Select ebook. Um, it follows the main protagonist of Curse of the Shadow King, Jasper Kane. It takes place in the year 1910, and that novella will explore Egyptian mythology. I had a freaking fantastic time writing that book. It was so fun. But yeah, it needs to be edited, and then it is going to be available hopefully before the end of this year. That is my goal. Alrighty, well, I can't say it enough, but thank you to the people who showed and are being supportive. Thank you if you're watching this later and you're supporting me that way. It really means a lot to me. I never ever take it for granted because I know what it's like to not have anybody show, and that sucks and it hurts. But I love what I'm doing. It means so much to me, and I'm gonna fight for it every step of the way. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.